This is Teresa with My Crochet Obsession, and today I want to show you how I crochet this freeform open spiral rose motif. Today's tutorial is a journey into intuitive crochet. This motif begins with an open rose. I've included a link in the description to that tutorial. Just to let you know, I've done very little editing in this video today. I've done so purposely so that we could begin a journey in intuitive crochet. This is my particular design process. I rarely have a full idea in mind of where my scrumble is headed. While it is true today I have the spiral rose to begin, oftentimes it's the hook and the yarn that begin to inspire. Now I'm going to continue to work with this abstract spiral rose scrumble that I started, and I'm going to add some more rounds to it. And I'm looking at the structure of it. I want to begin to put another swirl around it, but I want it to be flat. And I want it to come beyond where this petal obviously ends. So I'm going to start about right here on the back and find a loop there. The yarn I'm using today is the Red Heart Flamingo Stripe, a discontinued color that I also used with the spiral motif. I begin with a slip knot on the hook. I've got 2 loops left from that stitch because I only went into the one loop, and there's 3 loops to work with. So I'm going to attach the yarn with a single crochet. And in the next stitch, I'm going to single crochet again, just to get this started. And in the next stitch, still going through the 2 loops, I'm going to half double crochet. I'm going to form a swirl, and I want it to lay flat, so I'm going to increase here, so we don't start curling up. And in the next stitch, double crochet, and in the next stitch, double crochet. I'm going to increase another double crochet here. Again, I'm working at keeping this project, this row, flat. It'll lay flat. All right? And now another double crochet. And treble crochet in the next stitch. And another treble crochet, and because that stitch is so much taller, I need to put an extra one in there. I need to have an increase right there. And continue in the next stitch, treble crochet. And in the next stitch. And again, I want to come past where that petal ends on my flower. Just find a close by loop there. A little bit of a gap. Let me try putting it in that other stitch. There we go. Have another loop there. Hold it so it doesn't open up that stitch. look at the work. Yes, it's laying nice and flat. Now I'm past my petal, but I want to come a few more stitches over, and I need to increase here. I can see that my stitch is leaning to the right, so it's time to add an increase there. And I'm going to add another increase. All right, let's look at the work again. Okay, I like the way that's looking. I want to come a little bit further, just a bit. So into the next stitch, another treble crochet. Now, let's look at the work. Nice. Okay. From here, I want to chain one and turn my work, and then single crochet into that, the second stitch from the hook into the back loop only. Go all the way back this entire number of stitches that we've added just in the back loop only. And it's the back loop when you turn the work. Before that, it's the front loop. But once you turn it, it becomes the back loop. So all the way back to the back loop. In the back loop to the very first stitch made in this row. And I don't need to do any increases because I did enough as I was coming over. Now as I'm coming up to my first stitch, I actually want to go at least one stitch beyond the first stitch where we joined. With a single crochet into that next stitch. Okay, and chain 2, yarn over and turn the work. Now back into that loop that's left there, double crochet. And into the next back loop, double crochet. And continue. Increase as needed to maintain the flat surface along this curve. And notice that effect, it comes around and then we have a ridge that comes back, and then it turns, and you can see the turn in the stitches. Nice effect, and it keeps that fluid movement that my scrumbles in this composition, the thing that they're doing. Okay, let's continue. I need to put an increase here. I can see that my stitch is beginning to lean to the right, and I want it to continue to go around, although I'm going to do something a little bit different here. I'm going to put in an extended double, but I'm going to do it the way with a start like a treble. I want to yarn over twice. Let me start over and just show you. In case you've never seen it before, it's not anything unique. Yarn over twice, insert the hook into your stitch, yarn over and pull through 2 loops, and then yarn over and pull through 3 loops. And it's just a little bit taller than that double crochet that it's next to. In the next stitch, treble crochet. It gives a nice transition between a traditional double and a traditional treble. Okay, and I still need an increase, a treble crochet in that same stitch. 1 treble in the next stitch. Continue another treble in the next stitch. And again in the next stitch. Let's look at the work. Not only do we want to be mindful of increases to go around the curve, but we also want to be mindful of if we have too many increases, well then this will have a tendency to ruffle, and that's not what I want here. That's a look. It's definitely something that could be done, but that's not what I'm going for here. Okay, I still need another increase there, another treble. In fact, I may need 2 increases. I may need 3 stitches in there. That's getting straight. I'm going to put an extended double the same way that we did before in that same stitch, and then in the next stitch double crochet and double crochet in the next stitch and half double crochet, half double crochet, single, and another single. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm wanting to come around with a whirl, but then I want it to get I don't want it to be consistently round. I want it to undulate and form something else. Okay, now I'm going to slip stitch into the next stitch, and I want to make sure that it is well secured, so I'm going to find 2 loops there. I don't want this slip stitch to come up, so I'm getting it into 2 loops. I say I'm getting it into 2 loops. There we go. And slip stitch. Turn the work. Do not chain. And into the next stitch, single crochet in the back loop, all the way back to the beginning stitch. Single crochet in back loops only, all the way back to the beginning stitch in this round. Now I'm going to just find a loop there and in the front and have another single crochet, find another loop to get back to the original flower, and then into the flower, the loop on the flower. I'm going to go considerable amount. I'm going to go, I think 5 stitches. There's 1 and 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now let's look at the work. Make sure it's laying flat the way we want it to. Okay. Now I'm going to come in beginning with a double crochet. So I'm going to chain 2 and turn my work. No, I'm going to chain 1. Actually, you know what? I'm not going to chain at all. But I am going to double crochet into the back loop of the next stitch. But I'm not doing any chain up. I will double crochet. If I can, I may have to half double. Nope, I can double. Now double crochet into that same stitch, in that same back loop. Double crochet into the next back loop. And double crochet into the next stitch. Back loop only. And again. Let's look at the work. Now once again, I want to increase the size of these stitches and come up like this. So I'm going to do my extended double crochet here that begins like a treble. Insert the hook, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops. Now treble into the next stitch in the back loop. And treble crochet in the next stitch. Now the back loops we're coming up on are actually these back loops. But I'm going to put one more back loop right here in this one. And then I'll be over to that magenta color. And treble crochet again. Let's look at the work. Okay, I like the way that's looking. I'm going to continue around. I'm going to put some increases though, because I want to come around to about right here, and then I will reduce my stitches again to the single crochet. I don't want to come all the way over here at this time. All right, so I need an increase here. Treble crochet increase. And I want to do a double treble, like I'm going to do a double treble with a yarn over of 3, but insert the hook into that same stitch, and I'm just going to do an extended treble. So go through 2 loops, go through 2 loops, and then go through 3 loops. And in the next stitch, a double treble. Yarn over 3 times, insert the hook, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, and yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Yarn over 3 times and double treble. Let's take a look. See if we need some increases yet. Okay, that's looking good. I want to come over to about here. I'm going to do the extended treble this time, so still yarn over 3 times, and into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, pull through 2 loops, pull through 2 loops, and pull through all 3 loops on the hook. Now treble into the next stitch. And again, let me see, do I need an increase? No, I don't. Another treble. Let's go extended double this time. So yarn over twice, this is fair, or a treble, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, and yarn over, pull through all 3 loops. And now a double. 2 times. Half double. And a single. Slip stitch. Turn the work, no chain. And then the next stitch, the second stitch from the hook, insert the hook and single crochet in the back loops, just like we've done before, all the way. Let me look at that. Now I want to slip stitch one more time before I come back, because I want it to be flush with the work. So into the next stitch, go through 2 loops and slip stitch, and then turn the work, and then 2 stitches from the hook, go in with the first single crochet. Actually, in that, let's slip stitch first, because I want it to lay closer to the work. So let's slip stitch first, and then in the next one, single crochet and single crochet in the back loop only of every stitch from the previous. Now as I'm coming back to the flower, I still want to find back loops for the single crochet to go all the way back to the flower. You can always find a loop somewhere to do that. Right here I'm going to slip stitch. I just had another thought. Now here I want to double crochet into that same last stitch, and it's from actually the previous row. So double crochet there and chain 1, and skip a stitch and double crochet into that. Grab 2 loops from the original spiral flower and chain 1, yarn over into the next stitch, double crochet, chain 1, yarn over, and skip a stitch, and into the next stitch, double crochet. chain 1, and I'm going to go in between this first stitch here that I'm next to, and I'm going to find a bar there. I was hoping to get 2 loops. Yeah, I can get 2 loops. Get 2 loops and slip stitch to join. The reason I wanted to do that is this scrumble has got a lot of density, and that's what I was noticing in the rest of the composition that I've already joined. It's got a great deal of density, and I wanted to pull in some places of airiness, and that's what I'm trying to do here. Okay, so I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 little spaces. And the way this scrumble is turning out, we have the swirls that are coming back, and they're getting shorter and shorter, and I really like that movement. Now, let's continue. I want to go to here. I want to go to this spot. And the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to, I think it's going to take a double treble, and then I'm going to go into that where that the turn on that single crochet or that slip stitch, I don't know which one it is, I can't remember, but I want to go into there, try to go under 2 loops so that it doesn't pull open. There it is. Actually got 3 loops, that's too much. Keep working it until you get only 2 loops, if possible. There we go, I got it. Pull up a loop, adjust the tension of the yarn so it's not too much, and yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through. Actually, I think I can pull through all 3 loops there. Let's try. Okay, nope, let's loosen that up. I went through the 3 loops. I want to just go through the 2 and then pull up a loop and go through that to loosen that up. All right, that worked. My design choice here of whether or not to do a treble as opposed to a chain has to do with where I need for my hook to be for the next stitch. Okay. Now I want to chain 2, yarn over and turn the work. Go back under that stitch, double crochet, 2 more into that stitch. And then double crochet into the next opening. It's going to be a chain space from that opening, that window. 2 more double crochet. And again, go over to the chain space and 3 double crochet. I want it to continue to lay flat. I do not want this to be a ruffle. I've changed my mind. I'm going to come in here and put popcorn stitches, and I'm going to put a, that's 4. I'm going to put 2 more stitches in there. I'm going to do a 5-stitch popcorn. That's 4, 1 more double crochet, pull up a loop, insert the hook into the top of that first chain, pull up a loop, and chain 2. 5 double crochet into the next stitch, Insert the hook into the top of that first double crochet. Yes. Chain to close the stitch, and chain 2. Five double crochet, pull up a loop, insert the hook into the top of the first double crochet, chain 1 to close the stitch, chain 2 to move the yarn over to the next stitch, and 5 double crochet. Let's look at the work. Very nice. One more. So chain 2, 5 double crochet, pull up a loop, chain 1 to close the stitch. Now let's take a look. I like what's happening. Okay, I want to fill in this gap. I don't like that, so I'm going to put another double crochet there to be the transition into the next statement in this scrumble. That's better. Now I want to come in again, and I call them windows. I want to come in with some more windows. I'm going to come in with let's give me a couple of more double crochets here into that back loop. I want to keep my texture that I've already added in the composition, so double crochet and double crochet in the next one. Just into that back loop. I'm going to come back around with a whirl that I'm going to end about right here this time. Okay, and then when I get back over here, I may do some more textural work. So continue, increase in this stitch, another double crochet, next stitch, double crochet, okay, in the next stitch, double crochet. Now in that same stitch, I want to do an extended double crochet, so it starts like a treble. Pull through 2 loops and pull through all 3 loops on the hook. Now treble in the next stitch. Having a hard time with that one. Treble again in the next stitch. And let's look at the work to see if we need to add an increase, coming around that curve with tall stitches. I think they're fine. Let's put another treble. In the next stitch, I want to start it like a double treble, but do an extended treble. So yarn over 3 times, into the same stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops on the hook. Now double treble, 1, 2, 3, into the next stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over, pull through 2. Double treble again. And I am going through the remaining 2 loops for a little bit more stability to this scrumble. It is going to be a garment, so I kind of want it to not be too waffly there. Let's look at the work. I want to end here with my single crochets, so let's eyeball it. We can do a couple of more trebles. In fact, in this stitch we might want to do 3. Increase, at least 1 increase here, and then we'll take a look at it. Okay, in the next stitch, double treble with an increase. Now, extended treble. And a treble. Let's look at the work. I need an extended double here. So it starts like a treble, so yarn over twice, and it goes back in the same stitch. It'll be the increase. Another extended double in the next stitch. And again, in the same stitch, an increase as we're coming around the corner, coming around the curve. And a double in the next stitch. And another double into the 2 stitches, 2 loops, half double, again into 2 loops, another half double, two single, and a slip stitch 2 times. Slip and slip again. And one more. And so the swirls, they're not concentric circles. They are undulating and causing more movement in this piece. Now I want to go into the back so this won't show, and pull up my loop, and then turn the work and start my single crochet in the second stitch. It's not going to be a single, it's going to be a slip actually. Slip stitch first, be gentle so it doesn't stick up. In the next stitch, back loop only, start the single crochet all the way back around, back loop only, and single crochet. Chain 1 and double crochet into that back loop of the next stitch. That chain 1 is just to raise the stitch, and now I want to come in behind my popcorn stitches, double crochet, skip the popcorn stitch, just go into the chain space, and 5 double crochet, pull up that loop into the first double crochet in the chain space and pull through that loop. Chain 1 to close the stitch and chain 2. And 5 double crochet in the next chain space and form a popcorn again. Let's look at the work, make sure it's not pulling. All right, I like the way that's looking. This reminds me, you know, you've got your flower here, and then this reminds me of little buds that are coming out from it. All right, let's continue. Chain 1 to close the stitch, and chain 2 to move over to the chain space. Might need to do 3. Let me put this in and make sure that if it's pulling, then we need an extra chain. I think it's going to lay all right. Although my loop opened up here, I want to fix that. I don't like that loop opening up. It shows. All right. Let's go ahead and chain an extra one there. It's better to have too much than not enough, to assure that it lays flat. Five double crochet popcorn here. And for the benefit of those who have not worked with popcorn stitches before, they can be made from the front or the back, and whenever you pull the loop, as I'm doing here, it depends on which side you're inserting the hook from to determine which way that the popcorn folds. Of course, I'm making my popcorns to fold and stick out from the front facing side of my scrumble. Now I want to get over to this place and begin to form a ruffle. So I'm going to chain 1 to close that stitch. And go into the top of that previous popcorn stitch with a double crochet, chain 1, and another double crochet, chain 1, let's go into the side of that stitch. I don't want to keep going into the top of that popcorn. It's going to open it up. Chain 1, and now into that space, chain space where we put the double treble, chain 1, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet. And I'm going to adjust these stitches, make them really tight, because I probably, let's see, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, at least 4 more to make a nice but soft ruffle. Chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet. Now let's look at the work. All right, we continue with some nice movement. We've got our popcorn stitches, our flower popcorn stitches, kind of looking like buds, and a little ruffle here. And for today, I'm kind of running out of ideas, and so that's what happens with my freeform. Once I get to the place that I don't know what to do next, I tie off and begin another day. So I'm going to find 2 loops here to tie off this statement today, and then I'm going to loop again. And this is what today's scrumble looks like. And remember, we just started with this little spiral and really dressed her up. And this is what the work looks like on the back. Once the yarn ends are woven in, it's very neat, tidy, and it's flat. I've enjoyed this journey in the art of freeform with you today, and thank you for riding along with me in the design process. Sometimes I haven't the vaguest idea of what direction I'm going. I put the yarn and hook in hand and just crochet the way I feel. I call it intuitive crocheting. Today I did have a starting point with the spiral rows, and I have other scrumbles that I'm working with in this larger composition. Here's a glimpse of some of the other pieces that I'm working with along with the one that we created today. This particular scrumble works with the rose motif that was created in a previous video. I've already added additional rounds and undulating shapes. I have a tutorial on this spiral rose, which is the centrifolia like a cabbage rose. I will add additional rounds in a future tutorial. This particular scrumble was created over 3 different sittings. This was one sitting, and these other 2 that are attached were 2 different sittings. This one on the bottom was a very quick make, and I added a form, the little curly Q. This shape at the top, I'm not exactly thrilled over. I added the picots on the edges, which added kind of a jagged shape that, to me, although it is a juxtaposition, I'm not happy with the way it looks. It doesn't seem to go with the flow of the rest of the motifs. All the other shapes are more fluid and smooth, and that jagged shape just isn't doing it for me. So in all likelihood, I will be frogging this out before I complete the composition. And this brings us to the close of this tutorial. If you like freeform, then you're in the right place. And if you enjoyed this particular motif today, I'd appreciate a thumbs up. Your likes help me to know what kind of content to continue to bring to you. Of course, I would love to have you as a subscriber with that notification bell activated so you'll know when I put up a new tutorial. Let's be kind to one another. Kindness is free. Spread it everywhere you go. And until I see you again, keep calm and crochet on.